Hey guys, if you remember, in this video, we created a web app that basically lets you search gyms in your city. In this video, we're going to do the same thing in React Native. This is what the end result looks like in React Native. And also, it lets you search and filter results on the map. So for example, I want to filter to within 10 kilometers. Hit search. Now those gyms over here don't show up. If I do reset, they all come back within 50 kilometers. Okay, reset. All the gyms are returned. Also, if you click on one of the gyms over here, you get a picture of it, and when you tap on it, you get a page dedicated for that gym. You can add information for that gym or whatever. Let me show you how I built this so you can try to do the same thing. First step, here am I creating a new project. I'm gonna call it Find My Gym. I'm following these steps here in React Native Dev for Mac OS, iOS. I'm using React Native CLI as opposed to Expo to create my project. I'll link this in the description so you can follow the steps for setting up a React Native project. It's very simple. For this project, you're gonna need to install the following dependencies. Here you go. I've opened my React Native project in code. Here you go. It finished building the app. And this is what you get when you get a new React Native project. Well, first thing I like to do is I like to get rid of this template page and start creating my own. You can go ahead and do export default function app here. Put an empty view for now. Save. And it's working, but you can see the text here all the way in the upper left side. I can show you how this looks like when it's centered out. There we go. Now it's good. Okay, now I want to start installing my dependencies. Starting with React navigation, just go to the website. I'll link this in the description box and follow the getting started guide here, and it will tell you everything exactly that you need to do, so I don't need to include this in the video here. So just follow the instructions in this page. I'll link it in the description. Here, the last step of the installation for React navigation will be to wrap your app in this navigation container component. So go back here, import this, and let's just go here and put this right outside whatever components we're gonna have in our app. Save, check if it's working. In my case, it's working. I'm gonna go ahead and install React Native Elements, which is gonna give me a set of components that I could use in my app to make it look pretty. Here on the overview, when you read in the Getting Started guide, just select React Native CLI and follow the instructions here. By the way, here, when you're installing React Native Vector Icons dependency, and you're trying to use this command to link the package into your project, you might get this error, which is unknown command link. If you're getting this, it's better to just copy this, search it in Google, and follow their own guide on GitHub. Don't follow the guide on React Native Elements page. Just go here and follow it. So here, I'll put a bookmark in the video titles. If you don't want to do this, you can just skip it, but I'll walk through this quick with you here in the video. So you go to the project, node module, scroll all the way down to React Native Vector Icons. There will be a folder here called fonts. You take all of this, or in my case, I'll just take the folder itself, open it in Finder. You can't copy it from code for some reason. So go over here, put this to the side, go to your Xcode, under Find My Gym, take this font folder and put it here with the guys. Make sure this is checked, make sure create groups, make sure the target is selected, finish. Now it's getting imported, good. Now you also need to go here, and there's over here there's this piece of code that is hidden. You need to expand this line to get it. Copy this, go here, there's a file called info, right click on it, click open as source code, and then maybe here after there's a key and there's something under a key and something under it. So here you should keep following the same pattern when you put this. Then go here, back to your project, build phases, copy bundle resources, check if your fonts exist. They do in my case, so we're good. You need to follow also this here. I know it's pain in the head. So here you need to create a new file in your project, your React project. And here just create a new file just like this. Call it react-native.config.js and just copy this little piece of code over here, which I'm not sure what it does, but I just want to make sure all the boxes are checked so that nothing will break in my project. Android instructions are much simpler. Just go here, Android app, build Gradle and add this somewhere. Probably, well, maybe at the end of the file. There you go, save. And you're done with React Native elements. You should be. Oops, actually nope, there is more. But we already installed this as a part of React navigation here, as you can see. Safe area context. We already installed this, so you can skip this part. And now to the main event of the night, the maps library. This is pretty straightforward, it's just there's one thing a lot of people miss when they're installing this library. I'll show it to you in a bit. Just follow the instructions as it is. Yarn add. Here will tell you to use either of these lines. Wrong. Only this works, so use that. Now look at this. There's something here that's gonna make you pull your hair out, and in the way they put the instructions in here. They tell you to modify the app delegate.m file, then deal with the pods. It's actually the opposite. So first you want to do this. Take this thing over here, this line. Go to your pod file under iOS. There's pod file. Here, line number 5. No, sorry, line number 4. Remove this. Replace it by this line. Okay, save. Now, take this stuff over here. Also, this didn't work for me, so I'll show you a few tweaks to make it work. Go over here, scroll down under... What a mess, there's so many things going on in this file. Here, right above, use native modules. You put this in here. Take care of your spaces if you're OCD like me. There you go. Actually, that's pretty much it. Now, once you've done that, then you do cd iOS pod install. Wait for it to be installed. This green text makes me so happy. It means that there's no pod issues, which happens all the time. Now, once you've done that, close this project. Close it completely. Now here, after doing all that, you will be able to see that Google Maps thing. Now you can see it. Great, it's working. Copy this line as per the instructions where you will place your API key. Make sure it's the first thing in this function. There you go. Please, to the guys that created this library, it's a great library. Just please make sure to put this instruction first here, and this is below here after. Okay, now before we jump to the Android section, let's go get our API key. So go to Google Cloud, go to your project in Google Cloud. You'll probably already have one. I already have one because I worked with Firebase. If not, you can just create a new one, new project. You'll need to have billing enabled for this to work, by the way. So make sure you have billing enabled. So here, click on the menu. Sorry, click on library. And make sure to activate the Maps SDK for Android, Maps SDK for iOS, Maps JavaScript API, Places API in this project by just clicking on them and then clicking. Here it says manage, but it will say enable. It will just click on enable when you do that. And then once you do that, once you enable it for this project, go here to the menu, go to credentials, and create new credentials. Select API key. This is your API key. Take this, put it in your Xcode project. You will have to put it later in your Android files. We're not done yet. You need to go over here, click edit API key, and add those services that you selected. Find my gym. I'll restrict it to the map stuff. So maps. Also Places API, just for good measure. Click OK. Save. Nice. Now the API key is active and working. So we could use it. Now let's go back here and follow the steps for Android. Go to this path and copy this and put it there. App source main. This file. It should be a child of application. So right here, make sure to put your API key there as well. Save. Now let's run again on Xcode. See if this thing is still working and it will not explode or anything. Okay, app is still working, nothing broke. So let's jump now to the fun part, which is coding it. Here I'm gonna create a new folder, call it screens, and here inside I'm gonna create a new component called map. Map is just gonna look simple like this for now, so just return. Again, when you add anything new to your project, it's recommended to always test if your project is still alive and working. So here, import map from screens map. Just make sure always that whatever you added works, because things break all the time in React Native. Let's change the text to make sure we're not crazy. Okay, map. So it's working. My component's being imported. Now I need to actually make this thing have content. So I need two views, one for the header, one for the map, just like in the web app that we worked on a couple of months ago. Flex direction will be column because these two views are going to be above each other. I'll just specify the height explicitly. This one is going to be 35%, 65. Set background colors so you can know, so you can tell how your views look like. So this one is pink and that one is white, like Frank Ocean. There you go. Let's make it grayish so we can see it, just to be safe. Okay, perfect. I have a view here for the map. This is going to be the map side and this is going to be the search bar side. I like it's better to isolate the two. So here I'm going to create map section, which will return the view for the map. Okay, go ahead and import the following components for the map, and let's slap the map over here. I forgot to import style sheet, so style sheet is import from React Native. Let's try again. There you go. This is the map. Nice first step. Great. I don't need this, to be honest. I don't need these two, so I'll remove them. Still functioning. The map is centered at Sri Lanka. I put the provider as Google. If you want to use Apple, then you could just remove this and it's going to use Apple Maps instead. I like to use Google, so let's just keep this because it's the maps that everybody know. And that's all good. Let's set that aside for now. Let's do search section. Search section is in this component. Let's start adding some stuff to it. Go ahead and import the following components from React Native elements like this. You'll complain about text, so make sure you remove text from the import over here. First thing, I'm gonna add this text to be like a logo, just a text. Gem Finder, it's stuck all the way up there, so I need to move it down here. I need to move it down, a little down. So I'll do one thing here. I'll just do padding, top, 20, nah, 40, 45. This is better. Okay, so this way I can avoid the save area. Alternatively, you can use a component called save area view, and that will just fix everything up for you. But the problem with it is that it leaves this gap here. I don't like that. I like my map to fully cover, so I won't use save view. I'll just use the padding. Then I'm gonna add the search bar. There you go. Now let's change the background for this. Instead of pink to be page to look like just like the app we saw in the beginning of the video. I got this ugly gap here of the white color, so to fix that, just I need to add background color of beige to the whole thing. I can just do it here. That did it. Okay, now I gotta add my distance slider. There we go. Doesn't do anything right now. And lastly, my buttons. There we go. Now we're almost complete. Actually, we're done with the UI. Now we can start working on the logic of this thing. Okay, since we're done with the UI now, I want to start, the first thing we start, since we're done with the UI now, let's do one thing, which is let's move this map from Colombo, Sri Lanka to wherever it is our current location is. There's one library I forgot to tell you guys to install, which is geolocation. So go ahead and install that yarn add. It's react-native-community/geolocation, and then include that in your project here in your hold on a second, let's check if there is any additional instruction for installing this. Google it, go to their page. Okay, so you need to make sure these flags are included in your info file in your Xcode project, so you can enable geolocation. So there's a lot of text. You should just like summarize this in one line. Here, copy this, go here, go to info, just add row, include this. Looks like it's already there. Never mind. Then I'll just use the other one. Add the other one. There you go. Location always used to get your location and find a gym around it. Cool. What was the other one that oh, there we go, this one. So you should just make sure there's also a text here too under location when you use this description. So add this here. There's another thing you got to do for Android here. Just take this line and go to this file, Android manifest. Where was this? I kind of forgot where it is. Go to Android app. I believe it's under source. Nope. Gradle. Nope. Main. There we go. Here. And here, where do you include this? Add it right here, right next to its sister. User permission. Go ahead, save that. That's good. Now we can use geolocation. Import it in the JavaScript file. Save. Now let's create a new. It doesn't seem to be linked. See, I knew we missed something. And it doesn't say here anything about linking. God, I hate React Native. You can't just code. You have to like spend hours figuring out dependencies. I guess we gotta do npx pod install. Let's try that. Let's see what it says. Please give me some of that green text. What's FB React? There we go. Yeah. It was the pods. It was the pods again. They forgot to include in documentation. Geolocation, React Native community. What are you doing? Please include this somewhere. Unless I'm blind, I couldn't see it. Whatever. Just guys, following this, just watch out. All right, go to your Xcode. Click read from desk again. If you're getting this error again, just try rerunning the app on Xcode. Here we're gonna use geolocation library to do the following. When the map is ready, so here, go to the map section, go to return, go to your map, and here add a new thing called on map ready. You want to call this thing over here, this get my location, so that it can move the map to your location, right? There we go. Allow while using the app. What's this? Unable to retrieve. Position unavailable. Okay, if you're getting this error on iOS but not on Android, just go here and debug in Xcode and select one of these locations. Maybe Tokyo, Japan, and rerun this thing so that it can have a location to simulate. That's why it get returned location unavailable. And we're in Tokyo. Now, of course, if you want to test for your local city, like what I'm doing, I want to test for Dubai. They don't have a location here for Dubai. To do this, you need to create a file called JPX. Go here, right click, new file, call it, for example, Dubai JPX. And inside this file, just put your coordinates like this, Dubai. And this is Dubai coordinates. Save. Now, go back to Xcode, debug, simulate location, add GPS exchange to workspace. Go find that file that you just created. Find my gym. Where is it? Dubai. Add. Now it's added. Make sure it's selected. There we go. Now refresh. Now I managed to recenter the map to my location, simulator location. Let's create our state variables, because here I'm adding the latitude and longitude as a state variable. So there you go. You're gonna need, here's constructor. Here's the state variables. You're gonna need latitude, longitude, gyms array for the gym data, and search for the search bar, distance for the slider, selected gym for when you click on a gym, and it gets displayed like we showed in the preview for this demo. Cool. We got the location. Now we need to populate this map with data. First, we need to have dummy data. You can use the same data we used in the React.js video. Here's some dummy data. It's the same as they used in my previous video. The only difference is that I added an image for each gym, so that it looks nicer when you preview it on the map. So now let's put this all over the map. Go here, map section, return, view, map view. And here inside is where you're gonna do a map. Add image here. And over here in between is where you're gonna add your map function, looking like this. So here what you're doing is that you loop through your state variable gyms, and for each gym you do the following. But first we gotta set the state variable to be this, not gym data. So here on component did mount, just do the following. Just set the gem state variable gyms to be equal to gem data. Cool. Now save. There you go. It's get populated by the markers. Of course, you want to ask like, what's going on in that map function? Let me show you. I'm just looping through it. I'm using the marker, which is this marker. I get this from the React Native Maps library. Same thing with the callout. This is what happens when you click on it. Callout is going to basically contain the stuff, the preview for the gem details, like the picture and things I have here. Now here, what is inside the callout, you just your regular React component. Just getting my name from the array. I'm getting the same thing with the image. Just customize it however you want to. I put it as the most basic thing here. Now this doesn't do anything when I click on it because I still haven't coded this function, so I'm just gonna hide it from now. Okay, don't worry about that. Pretend like I didn't do anything here. But now I populated the markers. Great, we're doing great. Now let's get these filters to work. So let's just do that. First, let's start with the search bar. I already have a search string state variable. Great. Now here, where? In search section, go to your search bar. Right here. Okay. Here you wanna do on change text. Set the state of the search string to be equal to this new text, and don't forget to also assign the value of the search bar. So the value is gonna be that state variable. States. Okay. There you go. Now my text is getting there. Good. Now let's create a button. Let's make this button work so that it filters for the text. So here I'm just creating a method called filter, which is gonna filter the gems array based on this string converted to lowercase. So I get the name of the current item and I compare it to the name to the search string value, and then I'll only return the gems that have the same string. So cool. So this is gonna be my search button. It's just gonna be filter. It's actually confusing, so I'm just gonna rename this to search or handle search. Yeah, handle. There you go. English. This is gonna be my button, my search button. Where you at? Where you at? Not this one. We need to do that too, though. So this is gonna be here. Handle search. I also need to do my reset. My reset is gonna be very simple. So here, console, handle. No, what? No, constant, handle, reset. Come on, off. Here, you're just gonna set the state variable to be the same as the original gem data that we had before, which is gems equal to gem data, which is the one here downstairs. So that's what happens. Now let's try this out. Let's see if it works. So, red search. No gem is called red. Okay, what about MMA? MMA search. No gem. Only this gem is called MMA. Good. What about UFC? No, actually, just reset. Returns it. Okay, good. We got this search bar to work. Now let's get this slider to work. Also got the buttons to work. Good. Just get this. Let's get this slider. Yeah. Search section. Return. Or just slider. Where you at? Slider. First here, distance. It doesn't show anything kilometers. So here you need to just add these values. This state. Distance, okay, and you want make sure to convert it to string. All right, here now you got to do the same thing that you did to the search bar. So the value of when you change the value of the slider, you need to set the state variable. So this set state distance is going to be this value, which is a number. Cool. And the value, instead of 20 static, it's going to be whatever the distance value is. Cool. Save. Now here we can filter out. So what's within 50 kilometers? Everything. What's within only 10 kilometers? 12 kilometers. Wait, I haven't implemented the distance filter. Sorry about that. Let's actually do that. Oopsie. So here, go to your handle search, and here you will need to do an and operator and combine it with this with the method that's gonna get you the distance between the two, your current location and that gym. To do that, I'm gonna use the same method from my previous video, the React.js video, which is this method. I found this online. It's basically a math equation that gives you the distance, giving two latitudes and longitudes, two coordinates. It will give you the delta between them. And then what you're gonna do is that you're gonna see if this delta is lower than your distance filter. So here, you gotta do, actually not here on the outside, here inside this filter function, you gotta do and get distance location in kilometers. And now we're gonna understand why we put the our current latitude and longitude as a state variable, because that will be the first input in our equation. So your current latitude and longitude compared with whatever gem we're talking about, latitude and longitude, and this gotta be the delta gotta be lower than this state distance, which is set by the slider. Distance. Here we go. Okay, now that this is implemented, this should work. Let's try it. What's within 2 kilometers? Only this boy over here, but none of these guys. What's within 50? Everything. Reset. Actually, let's do this. Search, then reset. There you go. The slider's not working. Good. We got all this stuff to work. So the map is effectively working right now. I just want to do the navigation piece so that when you click on the gem, you can see its details in the next page, because that's pretty cool. So let's do that. Okay, so for the last piece, for the navigation, we would want to reorganize our index.js file a little bit. Right now it contains the navigation container over here and then the map inside it. So the first thing you want to do is create another component for the gym. So go here under your screens, create a file called gym.js. Just do a regular React component that will look like this, and back to index.js. We're gonna import that component. Here we go. Now here, you want to add this library to your project. This library will help us create a stack of pages so that we can navigate between them. So just copy this command line, put it here, and install. Now here you're gonna need to rework your navigation container from this to look like this. Now obviously, where are we getting the stack navigator from in the stack screen? We'll need to import that as well. You can do that by just importing this line over here to import create native stack navigator, and then we're gonna need to use this method. You're gonna do that like this. Okay, I saved and refreshed, everything's still working, which is great. But you also need to enable screens. So use this method, just put it here like this, and it will import automatically to enable screens. This will help us also navigate. Good, now this part is done. Now we need to go back to the map component and handle the click on the callout. So go over here, go map section, return, map view, gems.map, return, marker, callout. Here I have an on press. Here's where I'm gonna navigate to the other page, to the gem page. To navigate, I'm gonna create this method here inside map section called select gem that takes in the gem object as an input and sets it as a parameter while we navigate to the other page, which is gem. Why is the string called gem? Because here I identify my component with the name gem. So it's gonna go to this component. Now just put this over here, and you should be good. Select gem and then just put the gem in. iGem in my case. Save. Now let's give it a try. There we go. It navigates, but it doesn't say here. It doesn't say anything here except the test that I put in here. I want to instead display the get the gem object, and instead display the picture. And here in the header, I want to display the name of the gem. So let's do that. First thing, create a constructor that will have a state variable for the gem object, and then add the component did mount. So in here, I'm getting the gem ID that I passed over here in select gem method. I get it here, and then I use it to get the correct gem object from my gem data array. So since I'm simulating a database on my JavaScript file, let me copy the array here as well. But in a real production scenario, this is just for testing. In a real production scenario, you won't have an array here in your JavaScript file. Of course, you'll be doing the same, but instead of an array, you'll be getting it from a cloud database or your own NoSQL database or whatever. But using the same idea, using the gem ID, you're gonna find the right gem from your database like this, and then you will assign it as your state variable, like here. So that's the first thing. Second thing, I want to change the header in here to say the name, to display the name of the gem instead of test. I can do this just by using this line of code. So this prop save. Now it's done. It's changed. Now I want to display the picture here, which is the last step we have. To do that, you can just simply use this line of code like this block of code, save, and here now it's complaining that image of gem is null, even though we have set the state variable to the selected gem. So the problem here is probably that I'm not giving it enough time to retrieve the image or to load the image. To deal with that, you can do the following. You can put a condition here to only render the content if the state variable is not null. If the gem state variable is not null, like this. This should fix it. Now if I go here, click on it, I get the picture. There you go. Now it works. If I do the same thing here, I get it. And that's it. That's all. I hope you enjoyed the video. This obviously took longer to implement than the React.js, but that's because I'm more comfortable with React.js, and because in React.js you have to deal with less bugs and errors than React Native. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments. The source code for this video will be available on the description box on my Patreon. Subscribe there also if you want to support this channel. Okay, that's all. Thank you everybody. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.